I'm the American faction from the Norwegian Wind Ensemble, so hurrah USA. And I came to Norway actually in 2008 to study bassoon, fagot, with a teacher in Oslo. And I was very lucky. I had been working in libraries many years before that and decided to come back to the bassoon, which I had left for a few years. And found this great teacher in Oslo, just packed my suitcases and flew over to Norway. So I came to Halden a few years ago, and I was totally fascinated with this city because one day I was just walking outside and suddenly a big old American car just drove right by, and I was like, wow, it's like the 80s all over again, my childhood. And yes, I'm dating myself by saying that. But it was very cool, and I loved being in this town because of the people, the audiences are very receptive, and also the music that I get to make here. I not only get to play orchestral music, collaborate with string players, but I also get to do improvisation here, which is something that I feel is a big part of who I am. I love to be just putting myself out there and just being able to play what I want and then take something from my colleagues and transform it into something new. And that's something I feel very privileged to get to do here in this ensemble. What's really interesting about the works that we're doing on this program is that it really shows a lot of the different sides of the Norwegian compositional scene throughout the last 100 years or so. Now, Pauline Hall, she was a very interesting force within Norwegian music. She was very into the impressionistic scene that was going on in France. But unfortunately, when she brought it back to Norway, she met a little bit of resistance because of the really big acceptance and movement towards the Norwegian nationalistic scene. But she was very interesting because she, not only was she a composer, she was also leading a bunch of Komponistforening and stuff like this. And she was very cool. And her quintet, which we are playing here today, was the first piece of hers I'd ever heard in my life. And it was very charming, very sweet, and I really liked it. And then some years later, I was putting together a program, and I thought, oh, Pauline Hall, what else has she written? And I found this Verlan suite, which definitely brought forth this impressionistic feelings and chords and lush harmonies. And I advise that if anyone wants to learn more about Pauline Hall, check out that piece because it's very beautiful and gorgeous. Hovland is a very interesting composer here in Norway because, well, first of all, he's from this Østfold area, which is cool. I think he's from Roda, and he wrote in many, many, many different styles. So I've played a piece of his that actually uses sort of church modes and stuff like that, and very like these church scales. But this piece we're playing here is actually something called atonal. So it actually has no tonal focus, and it also is aleatoric, which means leaving things to chance. And this is actually cool for our ensemble because we do a lot of improvisation. So the Hovland piece is, you might think it's composed out and written, but there are many sections that we are just using some cues and clues from him. And we are just coming up with things, and every performance of the piece will be totally different. Wolfgang Plage is the only living composer who is on this program. And I have a special connection to Wolfgang Plage because he still is a professor in the Music Academy, and I was privileged enough to play 3 of his bassoon sonatas, and they are absolutely the most gorgeous music I've ever heard, and I advise anyone to try to find them on YouTube and take a listen. This music, in fact, I would say his 3 bassoon sonatas are in the top 10 of the best bassoon music of all time, in my opinion. And this quintet he wrote is no different. It's gorgeous. It's music that takes you on a journey. And Wolfgang Plage, he can come up with something very gorgeous and beautiful just from the most simple motive. And the opening of this quintet, which I would say is the main work of our program, is just one phrase, ba, ba, ba. That's it. And that's all he needs to make a 14 or so minute piece that just takes you on a journey, and by the end, you feel like you've totally come home.